And changes are coming to ICBC driving tests.
Going to be more convenient for new drivers and their families. It will lead to a reduction in in-person testing.
Why written tests for new drivers are about to look a little different.
This is CBC Vancouver News.
Hello, I'm Michelle Ghoussoub. Thanks for joining us. CBC News has learned new information about a shooting in Surrey last month. An investigation by the Fifth Estate has learned that the victim was allegedly a high-ranking member of an Indian gang operating in Canada. And it appears the federal government had been informed he was here. Stephen D'Souza has the details.
The shooting was cold-blooded and brazen. In the middle of the afternoon, gunmen killed a man inside his office. For over a month, police did not identify the victim, but the Fifth Estate obtained this photo. His name was Gurvikramjit Singh Waring. At least that's the name used at his funeral. He had other aliases, including Satvir Singh Waring, Sam Canada, or just Sam. Police say he had no criminal history and wasn't the target of the extortion threats which have been plaguing Canada's South Asian communities. This radio host and former MP works in the same building as the shooting. She says multiple people in the community have told her Waring threatened them.
Some people are saying we've given information we had to the police. So when the police are saying unknown to the police, they don't know what's going on.
Shortly after the killing, a social media post from an Indian gangster claimed responsibility. It said Sam was the main handler for the Bishnoi gang in Canada, a designated terrorist entity. This expert says Bishnoi has been embroiled in a bloody battle with a breakaway faction.
I believe Sam Canada is also a part of that ongoing series targeting each other's groups.
The social media post also claimed Sam was tied to match fixing in cricket. Multiple sources have told the Fifth Estate Sam was a close friend of Cricket Canada President Arvinder Khosa. 2 months ago, he acknowledged he knew Sam, but only through cricket. In a new statement from his lawyer, Khosa declined to comment. We've also learned one of Sam's aliases reportedly appeared on a list put out by the Indian government 3 years ago of alleged Punjabi gangsters hiding in Canada.
Once he got here and they had that information, why didn't they track him down?
Police and government officials wouldn't comment on that, but after our story was published, the RCMP, which is leading the investigation, confirmed Waring's identity, though they said they wouldn't release any more information because it could compromise the ongoing case. Stephen D'Souza, CBC News, Toronto.
2 northern BC First Nations have dropped their legal challenge against Ottawa's approval of a floating LNG facility planned off Prince Rupert. Katie DeRosa has the details on what is still considered a controversial project.
A new generation of LNG production.
BC is betting big on liquefied natural gas, courting customers in Europe and Asia. Now, a legal challenge that threatened to delay one LNG facility in northern BC has evaporated.
3 agreements with 3 First Nations, 2 of whom had previously been in court on the project.
The Metkakatla First Nation and the Lax Kw'alaams Band have dropped their lawsuits against the federal government's approval of the $10 billion Silesom's LNG facility. Instead, the communities, along with the Gigatla Nation, have signed agreements that ensure economic benefits and strategies to mitigate the environmental impacts.
This is significant progress that shows how we're getting things done in our province.
It sends a message. Canada is back as a serious energy country.
The 2 energy ministers were speaking from a global energy conference in Calgary. No one from the First Nations could be reached by CBC News, and no details have been provided about the specifics of the agreements. The BC Green Party leader calls the deals economic coercion.
An LNG company is coming in and is really taking some pretty predatory lobbying tactics to push nations into these projects. And I think communities are placed in this binary where they either accept a major fossil fuel project or spend millions on legal action only to watch it proceed anyway, often with little to no meaningful benefit flowing back to the nation.
The proposed Silissums LNG facility is led by the Niska Nation and owned by Texas-based Western LNG and Rockies LNG, a group of Canadian natural gas producers. The floating plant off Pierce Island would export up to 12 million tons of LNG per year. Last month, a German government-owned company signed a 20-year agreement to buy 1 million tons of natural gas from the facility. Another German company has expressed interest. Hodgson said those deals are key as the company makes its final investment decision to begin construction. Katie DeRosa, CBC News, Victoria.
One person is dead after a hostage-taking in East Vancouver Monday night. Police say officers tried to de-escalate the situation, but ultimately shot and killed the suspect. Jessica Chung has the details.
You can still see some evidence of what happened last night this morning. You can see the door boarded up behind me, some shattered glass on the front porch over there. But from what we know about this incident, it didn't actually start here. It started in the backyard area behind the complex, which is a gated area behind these homes. Now, Vancouver police said they were called to the area around 9 o'clock last night for reports of a violent home invasion, where police say, yes, a man was running through people's backyards. When officers arrived on scene, police say that the suspect had entered the home and was holding a man hostage with a weapon. And they tried to de-escalate the situation, but police say that there was an interaction and officers were, quote, ultimately forced to shoot the suspect. The suspect did die on scene, and the hostage victim was taken to hospital with injuries. Now, police didn't specify what type of injuries or how severe, but they do say that that man has since been released from hospital. They also say that there were no police officers that were injured in this incident either. And now the Independent Investigations Office is looking into the fatal shooting. They look into all cases of death and serious harm involving a police officer to see if any actions or inactions by them played a role in the incident. And we have a lot of young families in this complex where the incident happened. There's an elementary school down the street there. So it really is just one of these neighborhoods where people are completely shaken right now that something like this could happen here.
It was probably like 10 cop cars and about, like, it was a SWAT team and, you know, a bunch of other plainclothes guys and an ambulance. And my wife actually saw the ambulance rip down the street.
It's not an area that I ever feel like there's a real danger. And so to have something like this, especially just, in our neighborhood, just feels so not what you would expect. And it's really disturbing.
A lot of them say that they don't lock their doors when they leave their house. The kids are playing outside as well altogether, and some of them are rethinking that now that this has happened. The IAO is going to, of course, continue their investigation, and they're asking anyone that witnessed anything, have any additional information or dash cam footage, to contact them.
Changes at ICBC will allow new drivers to take the knowledge test required for their learner's license online instead of in person. The province hopes this will modernize ICBC services, cut down on wait times, and make the test more accessible.
This is especially good news for people in rural and remote communities who used to have to commute far distances to take the test. This new online option is available to people looking for their learner's license for passenger vehicles and motorcycles, or in other words, Class 5 to 8 driver's licenses.
The new online knowledge test will have to be completed on a computer with a camera. Identity checks and digital monitoring that tracks webcam and mouse movements will be used to prevent cheating. Residents of 24 properties northwest of Pemberton remain on evacuation alert. Gates Lake sits beside a melting glacier, and officials say an outburst could occur any day now. Alana Kelly has the latest.
While the clock is ticking at Place Glacier, research scientists were actually there a few days ago, and they're using sensors and cameras to be able to monitor the level of the lake as the glacier melts into it. But it's hard to know exactly when it will spill over or drain.
We know that it's very likely to drain once that water reaches its maximum height where it can overcome the pressure of the glacier downstream. It might drain before that, and that's uncertain.
Now, this has happened for the last 2 years. Thankfully, it's not believed that any homes were damaged. And to break down these numbers a little bit more, a few days ago, the lake was measured at 24 meters deep. Now, if that lake reaches 30 meters deep, that is when the evacuation order will be issued. The experts also said that it will take a bit of time for this water to reach these communities. In the past, it took about 10 to 12 hours, apologies.
Alana, what does this mean for other communities that have glaciers nearby?
Yeah, there are roughly 17,000 glaciers in BC. Place Glacier that we're talking about today is believed to be the most studied glacier, so this could be a sign of what's to come.
We always think about glaciers as being this beacon for climate change, and it's a bit sad to think about the ice loss that's associated with that. But we also need to be thinking about the hazards that come, and that includes anything from these lake drainage events to large rockfall type events as well.
Alana, is there a solution to this, and what are residents being told to do?
Well, so this is really interesting. There was some talks about using explosives to drain the lake, but the province said it will not fund that, saying there are concerns it could generate unforeseen geotechnical impacts in high alpine terrain. Now, as for the residents, they're being asked to be prepared to evacuate or shelter in place. The number of properties on alert is not expected to expand, and you can sign up for emergency alerts through the SLRD website.
The CBC's Alana Kelly reporting. Thanks, Alana. And Steve Jung joins us now for a first look at the weather. Steve.
Michelle, it looks like we're up for a little bit of change in the coming days. Over Wednesday and Thursday, we still have some showers to get through, especially overnight. And then on Thursday, we'll see it become a lot more scattered over the province before coming back on Friday, covering large parts of eastern BC, including parts of the southeast and southern interior. Now, we did learn earlier today that the Metro Vancouver snowpack is now gone. Not a great sign, considering the south coast is heading towards a bit of a dry stretch. And we're seeing those conditions for the next couple of days. Still fairly cloudy and still fairly rainy over the south coast for Wednesday, but on Thursday we'll see that heating up a little bit. We'll have more weather coming up later in the show.
Thanks, Steve. We'll see you in a bit. We're just a few days away from the start of the FIFA Men's World Cup. As Dan Burr reports, Science World finds itself at the center of questions about how much taxpayer money was spent.
Science World's iconic dome now transformed into the Adidas Trionda, the official match ball of the FIFA World Cup. But who footed the bill?
And I can tell you that Destination Vancouver was the primary funder to make that ball happen, and we are not funded by taxpayers.
And how much did it cost?
And that's what we can't share because it's, of course, under an NDA.
The BC government says it gave $150,000, a small part of the estimated $1 billion the parliamentary budget officer says taxpayers will pay to host 13 matches in Vancouver and Toronto. But a new poll finds 7 in 10 people in both cities say the public costs are not worth it.
There is a gap between the public spirit enthusiasm aspect of this and then really the belief that the public dollars that have been invested in hosting this tournament is actually going to result in a benefit.
Vancouver World Cup organizers proudly list 9 host city supporters, including 3 private companies, Bell, Concord Pacific, and Coca-Cola. One sports economist says some American cities are avoiding big public spending because their venues are privately owned.
BC Place and BMO Field do not fit in there. So if the stadium in Los Angeles says, listen, we don't need tax dollars other than some basic help with infrastructure to get people in and out, and beyond that, we're good, then fine.
Still, Vancouver organizers here stress the public dollars are being spent locally.
From fence rentals to people working on event productions, to performers, to face painters.
Organizers note corporate sponsors have to figure out how to spread their money across 16 host cities. They're banking on Vancouver's natural beauty and walkability to bring visitors in during the World Cup and beyond. Dan Burr at CBC News, Vancouver.
Vancouver Island University hockey is at risk. Why the team has to remove the school logo and name from their jerseys. That's after the break. In Nanaimo, Vancouver Island University's men's hockey team says it is on thin ice. The team says the school no longer wants its logo on the uniform. As Claire Palmer reports, the team says that change puts its future at risk.
Just 2 months after winning their second championship in 3 years, the future of the Vancouver Island University's men's hockey team is uncertain.
To get this letter to basically say no longer allowed to be VIU was devastating.
Gordon Nowicki has been team president for 3 years now and says the team was riding a high. They were voted the BC Intercollegiate Hockey League Team of the Year and were hoping to launch a women's team for next season. They were just waiting to hear back on whether the women could gear up in the VIU jersey when they got a letter telling them all club teams would not be permitted to use VIU branding after next season.
Immediately I thought we had done something wrong. Something happened, but we're not getting any feedback on what that looks like.
Nowicki explains the hockey team is independently run, but with an agreement with the school to use the branding. Everyone on the team must be a VIU student. But the school's insistent that it remove any affiliation with the university would be expensive. Nowicki estimates it would set the team back about $40,000. That would pay for new jerseys, branded equipment, signage, and administrative changes. Former players say there's pride in playing for your school and that the decision is disappointing.
I think the environment that we built and kind of the people that we brought out to the games, it was a really cool spot. And I think the Saturdays are going to be a little bit lacking without the VIU Mariners.
In a statement, VIU says it's been in talks with the team and discussions are ongoing. However, the university declined our request for an interview. Nowicki says the team has until June 15th to sign an agreement with the school that would allow them to wear their jerseys for 1 more year, but says the future of the team after that is now in doubt. Claire Palmer, CBC News, Nanaimo.
Months of singing rehearsal for a group of Abbotsford students has culminated in a concert today. A large cohort of Tenbrook Elementary School kids performed during the school's Sacred Earth Day concert. As Kier Junos tells us, the performance wove together 2 languages, one from a culture some are hoping to revive.
Singing in the traditional language of the Stalo people, elementary school kids bring Halkomelem to life through music. Around 360 Abbotsford students sang songs mixing English and Halkomelem, all about Indigenous culture, watershed conservation, climate action, and rethinking consumption.
Because Earth gives us our life, so we still need Earth for us to live.
Event producer and band member Holly Arnson says the kids have been hard at work learning the songs by her group Good Medicine Songs.
So they've been practicing for weeks and months. And also the Indigenous support workers in the district go to the schools and help them with the language and the teachings to take the children into the songs.
Kind of hard at first, but then it started getting easier as we practiced.
Arnson says the songs the kids are singing are based on Stalo teachings. Band member Johnny Williams helped them prepare for the concert.
It's been one of my long-time goals is to be able to sing, especially with children, passing down a language.
He says Halkomelem was suppressed by colonization and the residential school system.
Through residential school, we lost a lot of our language of upriver Halkomelem. And so we're trying to bring that back. And my grandmother's been working for 50 years to revitalize our language.
Williams, working towards the same thing as his grandmother, hopes the language is spoken again like a first language in a few decades. Kier Junos, CBC News, Abbotsford.
You're looking at pounding rain and a churning ocean as a storm blows through the Blackney Passage earlier today. But after some stormy weather, there is change coming. Our Steve Jung has your full forecast coming up.
I'm Amy Bell, and this is your CBC Inbox.
Celebrate the soccer spirit with CBC. Starting June 11th, our outdoor plaza becomes the ultimate CBC home pitch. Join us for pre-match activities, live performances, and more. Event details at cbc.ca/homepitch. And join us on June 20th and 21st at Burnaby Swangard Stadium for the Bishnoi Festival. Enjoy live music, authentic food, and vibrant traditions.
And Steve Jung joins us now for a look at the forecast and a bit of a switch coming our way.
That's certainly the case, Michelle. As we head towards the end of the week, past the midweek point, we'll actually enter a little bit of a dry spell, at least here on the south coast. But for now, overnight, we do have some showers that we need to get through, mostly around Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. On Thursday, we'll actually see the showers become a bit more scattered over much of BC. But as we get to Friday, we will have a whole lot more coming, especially to the eastern half of BC, making its way down through the northeast, over the Peace region, also through central BC, parts of the southeast and southern interior as well. So that's actually a pretty hopeful sign as we continue watching the fire danger overall around the province actually trending in the downwards direction. Some places do remain under moderate to high fire danger, but it has improved over the last few days. Let's take a look at this map here. We do see, it might be a little hard for some folks to see, but there's the Okanagan connector between Merritt and Kelowna, Pennask Summit, and here's Kootenay Pass. There is a special weather statement in place for these two areas. Accumulations of snow up to 4 centimeters up through Wednesday morning, so not a whole lot, but something to account for if you do plan to drive through those areas. Let's take a look at overnight forecast. We will see a chance of showers over much of the province, cloudy conditions. Note the risk of thunderstorms up in the northeast in the Peace region, and also over Prince George and Williams Lake and part of the southern interior and southeast of the province as well. Conditions will remain largely consistent over the next day or so over much of BC. We will see that clearing here on the south coast and parts of Vancouver Island as we head towards that stretch of drier weather. But note that continued risk of thunderstorms over the Peace region, up in the northwest, and also parts of central BC as well. Let's look at your 5-day forecast for Metro Vancouver. Chance of showers to take us through Wednesday, and there's that clearing. Starts warming up quite a lot as well as we get through the weekend. Highs of 24 on Sunday.
Some heat on our way. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure.
And thank you for joining us on CBC Vancouver News. You can watch this newscast on CBC Gem, that's our free app, as well as on YouTube and our website, cbc.ca/BC. Have a good night.